What's up guys, welcome to my channel. In today's video I'm showing you guys how I got this middle part sewn using Curlsqueen's Light Yaki bundles. They sent me 2 bundles in the inches 20 inches and they're 2 full bundles, which is well enough for a full head. So I'm gonna go in with my weaving net. You don't necessarily have to use a weaving net, but I use this weaving net on my braid down, as you guys can see, to help my hair stay protected under my sewing while I have it in. And also the netting also helps to fill in those spaces where there may not necessarily be a braid to sew onto. So in these next few clips you guys will be seeing me sew onto the perimeter braids that I have in my hair. I like to call them anchor braids. I typically like to sew around the perimeter and then also sew on the anchor braids that are around my leave out as well, because this is going to be the space where I'm going to go ahead and sew my weave onto. Now all the necessary net after I sew down on my anchor braids, I go back in and cut that off because that is honestly unnecessary net that we don't need around our perimeter of our head. Now if you do end up using the net method, this is what it should look like once you're all finished cutting away at the net, a clear canvas for you to start sewing on your bundles. So I'm going in and double wefting the first bundle. Like I said, there were 2 in the beginning, so with the first one I'm going to double it and take that needle and go through the actual weft. Now when I'm actually sewing when I'm actually sewing the double wefts on my head, I'm going under the braid and I'm making sure that when I do pull it through that it is extra tight. You guys will see me do like a little extra tug. This is important when you guys are first doing your first weft sewing down when you first start, because this is going to be the foundation of how your wefts are going to be, and you don't want them coming out. You want this sewing to last a very long time. So I'm just doing that extra pull or that extra tug just to make sure that once I sew it down, it is there to stay and it is not going anywhere. Me personally, when I do start my sewings, I like to start off my weft, as you guys can see, at the back of my ear. And then once I get to the other side of my ear, I'm going to flip the weft over. I don't know if you guys can see, but it doesn't look like it. I'm flipping over both wefts, not just one, because if you do just flip over one and start to sew and don't sew like double the wefts, if that makes any sense, then you are going to have some loose wefts and they're going to start to come out very soon, and we don't want that. So make sure that when you guys, or if you guys do decide to double your wefts, make sure that you are sewing on or under both wefts, because if you do not, they will come out. But in these next few clips, you will just be seeing me repeating the process of going from one side to the other, sewing the hair down. Now, when it comes to sewings, it's honestly a repetitive process. You go from sewing from one side to the other, and then once you make it to the other side, you just flip the weft over and then you sew again until you make your way to the top, which is honestly the easiest part of the process. I feel like one of the hardest parts of the process is making sure that you are staying consistent, especially when you are sewing these stitches next to each other. Always make sure that these stitches are close together, because if you have any wide gaps between your stitches when you are sewing, then it will basically come out. Now this is what it looked like after I repeated the process of flipping it over, and that was the first bundle. Now I'm going in here with the second bundle and just going through the weft on that first part of the weft. On the first bundle that I used, I doubled the weft, but for the second bundle, I decided to not double the weft and just do it as a single weft. And in these next few clips, you guys will just be seeing me do the same thing that I did before with the double wefts, just going from one side to the other and flipping the weft over once I get to the front of my head. As I get closer to the top, you guys will see that I start to curve my wefts. I do this because I like the hair in front of my face to curve or fall in front of my face. It creates a nice effect, especially when you do, or if you were to layer or face frame your layers in front of your face. So I personally like to do this. If you're not a fan of the hair falling in front of your face, you don't have to curve the weft. You could just leave it as it was and keep going back and forth. But this is a personal preference, which you guys will see me do in the next few clips. Now you guys will see that after I curve this last weft that I actually do go in and cut it. You can honestly keep on going back and forth and flipping the weft, but personally at the top I like to have it super flat. So it's my preference to cut the wefts when I do get to the top, and then I just use a needle and thread to secure it in place after I do cut it off. And then you will see me basically repeat the process and go from one side to the other and do the same thing. Basically go from that side to the other side and sew it around and cut it. And then after I do that, you will get what you guys see right now. I'm just sewing down the last piece of bundle or last piece of a weft from both bundles. I was able to fit all of the 2 bundles in my head. I was kind of a little worried at first because I was like, oh my god, like this is not going to be enough, but 2 bundles is more than enough because I'm usually a 3 to 4 bundle girly and I like my hair to be full. But as you guys can see, this is both bundles in my head and it is full. So in these next, we'll see me blend my leave out, cut some layers into it, and curl this hair as well. If you guys made it this far, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And let me know what you guys think down in below in the comment section. Now, I have had this hair in for a week now, and I could honestly say that this hair is actually pretty manageable. It has not had any tangles or any shedding. I don't know if I mentioned beforehand, but I also colored the hair myself. It did not come in this natural color. It came in like a, I want to say like a 1B color, but I went ahead and dyed it jet black to match my hair. So yes, these Light Yaki bundles from Curlsqueen can be bleached and dyed. Shout out to Curlsqueen for sending this hair again. This hair honestly blended in so well with my natural hair, and my hair is really heat trained. So typically when I do have like regular yaki hair, sometimes it may not blend, but with this yaki or light yaki texture that they sent me, it honestly blends perfectly.